A long-delayed Jacksonville trial is underway for a man charged with murdering and dismembering a 16-year-old boy back in 1994. We want to warn you, the details are graphic. Ronnie Hyde was arrested in the death of Fred Laster after the teen's body was identified through modern science in 2016. Prosecutors say there is DNA and other evidence that links Hyde to the murder, but the defense contends there is nothing that proves Hyde killed Laster. News 4 Jax reporter Janice Harris was in the courtroom where jurors have been shown gruesome photos of evidence from Laster's murder, including the boy's torso. Janice.
You know, Tom, gruesome is just being kind in the description for this. This was a really difficult day for jurors, the morning and the afternoon, as within that evidence that the state presented, they showed a bloody bed cushion, they showed knives, and they also showed that 16-year-old boy's torso. The state saying that Ronnie Hyde is responsible for all of this and that before the end of this week, they will prove their case. But the defense says that 16-year-old boy, Fred Laster, was a 16-year-old high school dropout, and he was trying to figure out his life, but no one will ever know who killed him. In court today, the state showed evidence photos from June 5th, 1994, the day 16-year-old Fred Laster's upper body was found behind this dumpster at a BP gas station. Brian Retz was a detective for Columbia County Sheriff's Office when Laster was found.
The head had been cut off, the hands had been cut off, and both legs had been cut off, so it was just the torso of the body.
Prosecutors said Ronnie Hyde killed Laster. Hyde says he's innocent. Around the same time as Laster's death, Ronnie Hyde had a sports car. One witness said he saw a sports vehicle at the same gas station near the dumpster where Laster's body was found. A deputy for the case, Calvin Finer, said it appeared the teen had been killed recently. Laster's family said Ronnie Hyde picked Laster up the same week and never saw him again. Other items were found at the crime scene, including these knives, a black plastic bag, bloodied bed foam, red flannel shirt, orange gloves with Laster's DNA, and these stickers, typically used in the bottom of a tub. In cross-examination, the defense said this is not enough to connect Hyde to the murder and dismemberment of Laster's body. A witness testified the knives found at the crime scene were popular at the time of the murder, so anyone could have had those knives, and the gloves were tainted.
You tried to find out who sold those TriStar knives?
Yes.
Were you successful?
No, I have so many places that sold them that pinpointed.
Did you come to learn that the gloves had been contaminated at FDLE?
Yes, not till years later did I learn that the fingerprint examiner had used a dirty fingerprint brush to try and lift the fingerprints.
A fifth witness, Heather Walsh-Haney, a forensic anthropologist, said Laster's body was cut with more than one knife.
There were 25 sharp force trauma impacts with a total of 71 cut marks.
However, it has not been confirmed that those knives belong to Ronnie Hyde. Though the state and defense will never agree on who killed Laster, we do know his body was treated brutally. The jurors will continue to hear testimony this week from both sides and decide if Ronnie Hyde took the 16-year-old's life or if someone else murdered him. And they took recess for the day around 5:15. One of the last individuals they heard from was actually one of Fred Laster's sisters, one of his older sisters. It's important to know also during the trial today, we learned that there were several serial killers that detectives were looking into, including one by the name of Richard Rogers, but they said none of those were linked to the torso or to the murder of that 16-year-old. Also, the defense saying that there are just not enough dots being connected during this case, and they'll probably continue to say that throughout this week as they say their client, Ronnie Hyde, is innocent. Also, the trial will begin early tomorrow at 8 a.m. instead of 9 and possibly going into recess for the day at 4 p.m. Reporting live from the Duval County Courthouse, Janice Harris, Channel 4, the local station.